play. There's an E here. At the end of the day, you just throw it all away.
Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Kip Brown and you're watching In the Can. In the Can is a show that gives independent filmmakers a chance to market and promote their films. Our guests today are Jamie Paolinetti and Kai Evans. The two have just successfully completed their world premiere run of A Cab Fugue, and they're in the process of making it into a feature film. We've got to take a real quick commercial break, but we will be back with more In the Can, so stay tuned. And we're back in the can. Our guests today are Jamie Paolinetti and Kai Evans. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, you were the director of A Cab Fugue. What was the most challenging part about directing that piece?
Well, every play we do in here is a little bit different. I think probably originally was finding the lead. Kai came in and auditioned for me for another play, and he did a fantastic job. He was the strongest actor I saw, but because the rest of the play was already cast, his character, in terms of direction of that play, couldn't be as strong as Kai's performance was, so I couldn't give him the role. Then I got this play, and you've seen the play, you know. The lead character's on stage for an hour, downstage center, never gets up, has to carry the play. It's that character's story. I needed an actor that can sit on stage without getting out of a chair and really grab the audience for an hour. And so I called Kai, I said, Kai, I got a play, you can have the role, come in, read it, and let's do it. So that really was the most challenging part, is casting that lead role. It's not an easy role.
It was an incredible character, very dynamic, and it took me places, man. You really took me places with that guy. How does that character differ from other characters that you've done, and how does the Cab Fugue differ from other stage productions that you've been in?
Oh my God! Before I get to that, real quick.
Sure.
He was talking about first time I come in here, and it kind of got me a little, kind of moved a little bit, because I remember when Jamie called me, I didn't know who he was. And it was a friend that referred me to you, is that right? Yeah, a friend of the writer of the play.
That's correct.
Yeah, and he called me up, and Jamie, he had on the phone. I didn't know him. He has this voice, and he's real serious. And I'm like, I thought I was going to the principal's office or something. I was getting in trouble. He's like, we'd like you to come down. Yeah, exactly right. What am I in for now? We'd like you to come down and read for this part. And at the time, I was like, all right. So he gives me directions, and of course I get lost. And I call him in panic. I'm like, I'm so sorry, because here I thought I'm like, he's super serious. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I found a place, and I actually said, I read and everything, and it was what it was. But it was a great opportunity to meet Jamie, and this amazing theater, and its members are just phenomenal. And it was a real honor when he called me a year later and said, I have this part for you. And at that point in time, of course, I'm an egomaniac, so I was a little hurt still. I'm like, well, before I come down, I don't know why I didn't get the role.
Yeah, of course.
So being a great director, he stroked my ego a little bit. Oh, because you were too good, this and that. I was like, oh, I'm down. I'm like running down here to get down here, And so it was just really, really an awesome. That whole saying is, you never know if you just follow your heart and put good work out there. You never know when it comes back to you. And a year later, it was magic. So Cab Fugue, right? Calvin, Calvin is by far the best character I've ever played, and Jamie is by far the best director I've ever worked with on a production. Probably done 50 plays all over the country, New York, Boston, Detroit, and out here probably 10 plays. And Cab was by far, for me, the best experience in my career.
You look like you're having a good time doing it.
Yeah, man. Oh God. Well, Jamie and I worked a lot on setting Calvin up so that if it was done right, you were driving that cab.
Right.
And that was like our whole thing was like, we wanted to make everybody in the audience just feel like they were driving this cab, and they were going through what Calvin was going through when each different character came into the backseat of the cab. Yep. And then how thought-provoking the piece is, and how much it will move you if you totally can just sit in it. Some people can't even sit in it. Now, we've had people rush out of the theater because it was so jarring for them.
Yeah.
But the ones like yourself who could get it, right? It was just really special. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, Jamie's vision, man.
Yeah. Well, you went to bat on that one, and you hit a home run, man. As far as the state of theater in LA today, what do you see?
When we started this theater, we wanted to have it be a throwback to the, I don't want to say old days, but to the original philosophy of intimate theater that some of the greats like Arthur Miller and Ibsen and Strindberg and Chekhov and Tennessee Williams, some of those playwrights, I think, the same kind of vision that they had, where we want all of our productions to be character driven, and it's our goal like Kai just mentioned, to try to get the audience to look at the characters on stage and see themselves in at least one of the characters, and at some point, hopefully, maybe see themselves in all the characters. And that was our philosophy, is to try to bring as much reality to the stage as possible, right? To create realistic emotion under given circumstances. Mm-hmm. That was Stanislavski's dream, and that, of course, is the method that we follow here. Much easier said than done, of course, and that is always our goal. And so we opened this theater with that in mind. We've had, I think, 6 original productions now since we opened, and in terms of the state of theater in Los Angeles as I've seen it, most theaters don't have that same kind of philosophy. They just aren't out to do that kind of thing. And, I'm one for all kinds of theater. I love to go to the big musicals. I'll go watch those shows, and I think any kind of live performance that entertains, we need that as well. But there are specifically, different, I want to say philosophies in theater, mm-hmm. and ours is, I think, pretty unique. There aren't a lot of people doing what we're doing.
No, and it's a first-class operation down here. Just as far as the facilities, everything, it's fantastic. As far as you as a director, actor, writer, producer, what's your favorite part of the industry? What's the thing that you just love to do more than anything else?
Favorite's a tough word. I can't really say I have a favorite. If I have to direct something, then I need to look at the piece in its entirety. And we talk a lot about that in our theater, because as an actor, I don't care if I give you a play or a feature film or a short film, any kind of character I give you, if it's in a script and I give you the script and I say, I want you to play Bob in this script, you are going to immediately read that story from Bob's perspective. That's what actors do. Right. I do it whenever I'm going to act in a part. You can't help it, right? You know that that's the role you're going to play. As a director, you can't do that. As a director, you need to be really focusing on what the overall outcome of the story being told is and how all of the parts work together. And so to answer your question, I don't have a favorite. Hopefully at one point you get a great role as an actor and you get to go in there, and another point you get great actors on stage and you get to direct a really well-written play. That's something that I love to do as well. So yeah, every project's different.
You love it all.
Well, may I interject? I was fortunate enough on Cab to obviously work with him as a director, and from a directing point of view, it was from me working with him. First of all, this theater, like you were saying, is the reason why I did the show here was because it felt like I was on a soundstage. It was so intimate. It was really the actors in this company are really doing cinematic work. I mean, it's to the point of it's so intimate that if you don't know, you're going to be freaked out, because you're going to come thinking it's a theater and you're going to be sitting in the back. And when you literally can feel me sweating on you, you go, wow, there's something happening here. So it felt like the whole show was in a close-up. And that's why this theater, I think, is so special from an actor point of view.